It says that I am live, so hello again. Hopefully, hello. Hopefully some people have followed me over to this one. I am going to have to go ahead and put this link into my classes because that didn't go how it was supposed to. So give me a second and I will go ahead and send out this information to everybody who might have been interested. I'm going to go ahead and do that for this. We are working on it. Hello for anybody who's joined us. Not live. It's called Triptych Live, apparently. We're going to go ahead and go to my intermediate class. Hello for anybody who's joining us. Thank you for joining me back over to here. I did not realize that I could not change my video feed or where it was coming from. Update, it's here instead. I did not understand that. This is the second time that YouTube has thwarted me, but I shall not go down without a fight. Triptych Live. All right. So welcome. I see that I have a couple people. Hello. I'm so glad to see you. Hello. All right. So as I said before, this is the 9 rough drafts that I've made. Hi, Jalicia. It's so good to see you. So I said that I was doing this beginning right here, and I've decided to go with this third one because it has more detail. It has Elsa, it has Hans and Anna and Sven and Hans, or not Han, it has Kristoff, whatever. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and put this here, and this is going to be where I do my thing, and I'm going to do my triptych right here. I actually don't know if y'all see this upside down or not. Would you mind telling me if this is backwards or forwards? It says hi. It'd be super helpful to know. If someone could jump in the chat real quick and tell me if this says hi or eh. Does it say hi or eh? It's forward. Excellent. So it does say hi. Excellent. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to do is kind of get a bearing of the scale of this because thank you. Because this is a much bigger page than my page over here, and it's a different orientation. So this one's much more of a square, even a landscape going. It's wider this way, but I really want to do mine going this way because I'm planning on folding this into a 3D design at some point. So I need to get a bearing on where things are going to be. So I know that in the foreground, meaning really close to the screen or to the camera, I'm going to have Elsa bigger and she's going to be more detailed. And since I'm using Among Us characters, I know their expressions aren't exactly like really complex. And that's part of the reason why I really liked doing it. I thank my student for inspiring me to do this. So hello. I'm so glad to see you all here. I'm glad that you're here. I hope that you get some relaxing time or some time to work on your own triptychs as well. So I'm going to make Elsa here, and then I'm actually going to grab a reference to Elsa. No, not Assassination Classroom, Elsa on Google to look at her hairstyle because as much as I'm not actually going to be doing her, I am going to be doing her hairstyle. So I see that she kind of has this like front sweep a little bit. She's got a little bit of a front sweep and she still has hair like going out here. I might have made this a little bit too close to the edge of my paper, but I'm not going to change it. So this is Elsa's hair. And because it's Among Us, I don't think I'm really going to do super complicated braid patterns or anything. I think it's going to be much more impressionistic. And I'm going to have her hair going down here because I said so, but also because I think it makes for a nice, like, leading somewhere. Or maybe I'll have her hair going back. Yeah, I think that's good. It's that her hair is kind of flying away in the wind as she's running away. And she's not Rapunzel, so it's not going to be like super, super long or anything. All right, so there's our basic Elsa. And then her little Among Us concerned look, because Among Us don't really necessarily have emotions, but we're creating emotions because this is storytelling and stuff. I don't know. All right, so I've got my Elsa here. Oh, hey, Nico! My day is going well. This is my first YouTube live thing, and you know, it only took me 3 times to try to do it. But that's fine. It's fine. You know, whatever works. We it's kind of like all of quarantine and distance learning. We get there eventually. All right, so now I'm gonna start doing Anna and Kristoff and Sven. And in my rough draft, I can see that I had them really close. And I think I'm gonna get them a little bit farther apart from each other because I have the room. And I'll worry about this little jerk later. So I have Elsa here. We're gonna do Anna is gonna be the next one because she started following Elsa next, and I'm actually going to be tilting her a little bit forward instead of making her just right side up to show like movement, to show that she's running after Elsa, to show that action a little bit. And I'm gonna have her little visor doodad. And also the visor is going to be a little bit over to this side because her face is looking this way. I could absolutely have her looking back by putting the visor a little bit like that. All of a sudden she's looking backwards. But that's not the story that we're telling. So we're going to have her looking forward towards Elsa. Elsa, no, wait, come back. Are you sure you don't want to build a snowman? I think that you want to build a snowman. You're not going to build a snowman without me and call it Olaf, are you? That would be tragic. Anyway, Anna has bangs, and in my rough draft, it wasn't like super super clear that they were bangs, but they are. They're bangs. We're gonna call them bangs at least. We're just gonna call them bangs. And then her little braids flying away from her, maybe a little bit. Yeah. And I'm gonna have a little ponytail. Thanks. I hope that I hope I get views soon, you know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but that's okay. And I think I do like the little exclamation mark that I had over her head. Maybe that's too close. I have space. I should use it. You know, when I was in middle school, it was always, everybody always tried to do things so small, and I was so guilty of it. I would have this giant page, and then I'd have this small little thing in the middle here, and I just wouldn't play with space. And I am learning how to play with space and how to go ahead and use that space. And I think what I'm gonna do is have Kristoff and Sven off to the side, not quite following yet. They should be smaller. They're not quite following yet because they haven't been taken up and accosted by Anna or blackmailed. Nah, I don't know. They haven't been convinced or dragged along by Anna yet. And I know that Kristoff had this little hat that I'm gonna give him. His little hat. We're gonna call that good. So there's Kristoff, and Sven will be next to him as well. just kind of like chilling. Hello, Jenna. Good to see you. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. It only took me 3 times to actually get on YouTube live. But I'm here, which is the point. All right, and then he's gonna have, let's see, he's gonna have his little antlers. And again, I could have made it so that his antlers weren't overlapping for anything, and that's okay. All right. Somebody's trying to call me and they're not supposed to be. There we go. Okay, cool. So we have our Elsa, our Anna, our Kristoff, our Sven, and now we need our background. So we have our foreground, which is super close. And then we have our Anna, which is the mid-range kind of thing. We've got our Kristoff and our Sven over here chilling kind of in the mid-ground, but like farther back because they're smaller than Anna. Maybe I'll make Anna a little bit bigger. And then now we need our like castle back here with little Hans going meh, heh, 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 heh. So I'm gonna look up Frozen Castle, and that's probably not gonna be what I want it to be because that's gonna get me the ice castle. Oh no, there's Arendelle. Cool. All right, so now I'm just gonna start looking at like shapes of the castle. So let's see, maybe getting references is one of the most time-consuming Arendelle. One of the most time-consuming parts of this, and I probably should have had it already, but oh well. All right, perfect. So we're gonna put this way in the background, so it's gonna be super teeny. Well, maybe not way in the background, because there are really convenient mountains in the background that can go right behind it and be even more of a background. So castles, lucky for us, are blocks. If you've ever seen, if you've ever played with building blocks, you know, it's very similar. You know, you can make castles very, very easily out of building blocks, like little Legos or even the wooden blocks that you'd use as, you know, as a kid and such. So let's see. And then we have the wall, because we all know that walls work, right? You didn't hear your teacher saying that. It's fine. We're gonna keep moving on over here. And just keep chilling. You know, I love a good castle, you know? I love a good castle. We're gonna move you over to here as well. And the reason why this can be as big as it is because castles are giant. So we know that this is much bigger than it appears on the paper, right? So we're just gonna keep going. So how's everybody doing while I'm just going ahead and diddling away on my little castle? How is everybody doing? I hope that you are able to find some relaxing things to do or find rest in your drawing practice. I'm doing well, Jalicia. You know, I love doing these kind of art challenges. Obviously, you know, I'm the art teacher. I hope that I like doing these challenges, you know. And I'm really glad that I can do it from afar, you know, with technology. And I'm glad that we can still connect, even though we're all at home, and even though that's not really typically a thing anymore, but we can, which is nice. Yeah, why not? I'm going to go ahead and make some trees in front of here because I don't want, honestly, you want to know honestly why? Because I don't actually want to deal with the actual scale of Arendelle, because I know that there's like a dock and there's this and there's that, and I don't want to deal with that. So I'm going to go ahead and put some trees in front of it. Thank you, Nico. Yeah, and again, I like being completely honest, and that's kind of why I wanted to go on YouTube, because I don't think you guys know how lazy I can be with these sorts of things. And it's okay. It's okay if you choose not to, you know, do something, or if you choose to cover something up, because that sounds like a lot of work that I don't want to have to deal with. That's okay. And it doesn't have to be the best. And that's just the way it is. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this like little line of trees going back, you know, and then I'll do a general wash of a forest in the back here as it goes into the background and such. So let's see. Let's do a bigger tree over here, because you're getting closer to the foreground. So we're just going to put a bigger tree over here. Bob Ross style. Happy little trees. Happy little trees. Here we go. Happy little trees. And sometimes you draw from the forward back, and sometimes if you're Miss Berry Hill, you draw from the back forward, and that's okay. Yeah. What do you guys think? Do I have enough trees there? Does that look all right? This is the beginning panel, yeah. So this is when, you know, Elsa ices everything, and then Anna goes running after her. Now, something that I didn't account for by putting all these trees in here is the balance. So right now we have a really heavy balance over here. You can see that there's pretty much blank space over here, and everything's going on over here. So I want to make sure that I have something here to also balance it out. This is Frozen 1. I decided to watch it and just go ahead and base it off of this. So what could I do? So if anybody wants to put in the comments what I could do to balance out this picture, because there's a lot of open space, and if this had weight, if it had physical weight, it would look like this, right? It would tip over to this side, and it would kind of be like, ah. So if anybody has any ideas, I have a couple ideas. One is to do some more, like a little bit more trees over here, and having a tree coming over here. But that's not going to be enough, is it? Because this is still like so heavy, such a heavy piece of the puzzle. I'm also thinking that I might do a snowflake maybe over here. Another idea is to move Anna and Elsa over a little bit, and that would mean having to erase a bunch and like scooching it over, but I'm not super concerned about that. It might be worth it. So or another way to do this, actually, if I wanted to cheat, excuse me while I oops, is that one page? Yes, it is. Excuse me while I creatively problem solve my way out of this, out of having to do more work than I intended to do. I'm just going to take this out of here. It's going to be fine. It's fine. So in order to not, whoops. It's fine, right? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. In order to not have to do more work, I'm probably just going to mask over this a bit. So let me get some tape. We're literally just going to shrink the whole thing. And I feel comfortable with this. Do you feel comfortable with this? I feel comfortable with this. So we're going to erase you guys, because you will take way less work than Anna and Elsa will. And we're literally just going to take a piece of tape. See, even now, doesn't that look more balanced? By taking away all of this space over here, if I put the tape down, it already looks more balanced and more focused, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And that'll tape it to the table, so I don't need to worry about like it moving around and stuff. So perfect. It's perfect. Oh gosh, the no, it's not because screen. Okay, webcam. Let's make it straight. There we go. Yay! All right. So now we're gonna make Hans and or not Hans. We haven't made Hans yet. We're gonna make Kristoff and Sven again. Sven. All right, so let's take a look. I think I kind of want to make them a little bit smaller even than I did before. So let's make them super small over here, being like, what just happened? No, smaller, because the trees over there are fairly small, so I'm going to make them like itty bitty, maybe, with this little hat. Maybe I shouldn't bulk up the hat as much. See, when you see artists and you're like, wow, how'd they get there? It's because we erase a lot. It's because we erase a lot and we second guess a lot and we just kind of like figure it out as we go along. I'm going to turn off this. Nope, that didn't work. There we go. And then, so there's little Kristoff, and we're going to have Sven over here too with his little reindeer. Reindeer are better than humans. Sven, don't you agree? Isn't that how it goes? Reindeer are better than humans. Don't let the frostbite bite. Something like that. I don't know. So let's see. So yeah, so now it looks way more linear. Hey, Paige. Hi. We might or might not have just chopped off part of our page because it was being, it wasn't being helpful. So, and we're talking about balance and wanting to find balance in our stuff. So we talked about how, oh my gosh, there's so much going on over here, but there's nothing going on over here. So I am actually going to be adding some more of these trees over here. And I think I want one of them to be like almost covering up Elsa. And we've got like some trees, you know, over here, getting smaller and smaller, right? How's that look, y'all? Does that look all right? Maybe another tree overlapping that one, just so that we can see that it's overlapped. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. All right. And so now we need our little Captain Jerk Face, Hans. And I think what I might do is even make a little thought bubble with him where he's like over here. And because I'm going to pretend like he's in this window over here. So I'm going to make this little speech bubble with what's his bucket over here. So we know that he's not this big in reality because he's just like, it's implying that he's over there. And also, I don't know if you know, Hans has that really jerk swooshy hair. So I thought that I'd give him stupid looking swooshy hair. I just I think it's funny. Obviously. So that's pretty much the long and short of what I'm going to do for this one. I might even give him a little bit of a kind of face. A little bit of a maniacal face right there. Awesome. Now, something that I do with all, thank you, Paige. Something that I do with all of my work when I go from pencil to watercolor is I usually go ahead and do a pen, and a waterproof pen ideally. Now, I know that not everybody has these. I know that you have Sharpies. Those are a little bit too thick to use for something like this. You can, but for smaller detail that gets really tricky. Your other option is to go ahead and use your pencil to make things as dark as possible. So for example, if I wanted to, I could make this really dark. And when I watercolor it as we go on, I won't do pen for this one because we don't like Hans, whatever his name is. I'll go ahead and not ink that. So as we go, you can see what that looks like. So that does work as well, as long as you can get a nice, like, you know what you want to do. Because I always say light until you get it right. I got it right, so then I went really dark there. But I'm going to go ahead and use maybe a 0.5 to, oh, this is a water-based pigment. That would not end well. I've done that before where, it's close. Is this good enough? Yeah, that's good enough. I've done that before where I use a water-based marker and then I try to watercolor it. And the black got everywhere. And I was like, no! And it turned purple. So, like, you know, it added something to the picture. But I was so surprised because I did not know that was going to happen. I was like, no, wait! I'm okay with mistakes, but no, I didn't want to make one on this, and that's okay. Because mistakes are normal. So we're just going to go ahead and re-ink over all of this. And it's going to take a little bit, and that's okay. Hi, Kyrie. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry if I'm not looking up. Am I looking up enough for a YouTuber at the comments? Am I doing this right? Somebody give me YouTuber 101 tutorial. Somebody tell me what I should be doing. I got no idea. I have no idea. Yes, says Paige. Thank you, my dear. I have such supportive students. But feedback is always important. So that's why I always want to ask for it. H. So what does H stand for exactly, Kyrie? Is my question to you. Is it for hello? Thank you, Paige. Is it for hello? Is it for habanero? Is it for Helios or Helios, god of the sun? Is it for Hades, god of the underworld? Is it for haberdashery, which is a $10 word? Haberdashery. Gosh, I haven't heard that word in a while. Where did that even come from? I'm still seeing only H's. Hi, Leopard's Jeopardy. If you can get a word in edgewise in amongst the H's, you can say hello too if you'd like, or tell me what your name is. But if you don't want to, that's totally fine. Let's see, what else? What else is a good H word? Heliochromatic, helium, making the that nice high pitched sound like the chipmunks. If you set the pill and the sound of the chipmunks, like from Alvin and stuff, or Stitch. Heather could be for Heather, which is my first name, not the name that I go by though. I don't know where that came from. It's my first name. Hello, little Luna. Ooh, or Lula. Lula's such a good name. Hello, hello. Could be for Halo. Hi, Anna. Hi. I'm just working on inking it. We talked about do a bird. There's your bird. We talked about how typically with watercolor, I like to ink my stuff first. And if you don't have like an ink pen or something like that, doing your pencil really, really hard and really precisely can help. And that's what I did up there with little hands over there. Hello, hello. Yeah, Lula, actually, that reminds me, I had a classroom of kids who called me Miss Lulu. I was substituting for them, and I told them they could call me what they wanted as long as it was respectful, and so they called me Miss Lulu. Thank you, Kyrie. Yeah, so like the name Miss Lulu always kind of stuck for me. Yeah, I love it. It's a good name. So Lula is even prettier though. Nice. Do you know where it's from? I love that name. I love learning the backgrounds of names as well. Like Heather is a flower. Bryn is a small hill. And my last name, Berryhill, comes from Scotland, actually. Yeah, I know. I don't look very Scottish, but I am. Ooh, a made-up name. I love it. Like a gamer tag. Gamer tags are good. But yeah, Berryhill comes from the Highlands of Scotland. Who knew? Apparently, my part of my dad's family is actually from Scotland. And someday I'll go there and like learn about the Highlands. I've been to Scotland. I haven't been to Berryhill, Scotland. So maybe someday. So we have our little Kristoff here, who now apparently has a little like deformed head. It's totally fine. Yes, Jalicia, what is your question? I'd love to answer it. As I always say, stay curious. What's your question? Yes, yes, yes. Let it go, can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go. All right, so I have gone ahead and inked everything that I had in pencil. I used to have a giant eraser that was perfect for this, but I cannot find it. So I'm just going to go ahead and erase, except for where our little evil hands is. I'm just going to go ahead and erase everything else because that ink should stay, and it's the only thing that I really want to see at this point. If you watercolor before you erase, the watercolor will make the page less stable, and if you tried to erase it, it doesn't end well. Who had a question? Jaleesa has a question. I think that she's typing it. Kyrie has changed from her H's and has now taken up the title or the icon of the YouTubes. You know, at some point with all of those red bricks, it might like make a house or something. It might look like it makes a house, perhaps. Or actually, right now, it kind of looks like the Mario flag. In Mario, they have the little flag at the end in the castle that you have to jump on and goes woo. And then the higher up you jump on the pole, the more points you get. So maybe it's the Mario flagpole. I'd be down for that. All right. Almost done. Almost there. Hans! Evil Hans. Bwahahaha. You know, I really enjoyed in being careful not to erase that because that part's in just pencil. I really enjoyed in Frozen how it like really turned that whole trope of like love at first sight on its head. And I know that media has done that a couple times, but in Frozen, it was the first time that anybody had really done it in like a visible way, or in a place that a lot of people saw it, and I really appreciated it. All right, here we go. So we have our finished black and white rendering. Oh, bulletproof coffee. That doesn't work when you're not hot, does it? It's fine. It's fine. All right. So now we're going to get our watercolors. And we're going to get going. So let's see. So I've got a couple brushes here. I know that in your kits from the school, you usually get something like this. It's fairly small, maybe more of a medium-sized one, kind of like maybe this, probably. I typically like to have a couple brushes on me, and so I've got a few brushes on me, and so you might see me using different brushes, and that's okay. All right. So the first things first, I know that in our talks, we were talking about foreground, midground, background. Foreground has a lot more detail to it. It's less of a wash of color, right? So with Elsa's hair, I know that it's blonde, but it's kind of a blue blonde almost. So I'm gonna use just a titch of yellow, and I'm gonna put it over here, like for safekeeping. And if you see, I'm putting enough water on it that it doesn't necessarily even show up on the page. But because I'm going to put a little bit of blue in there, so I wash off my brush, and I'm gonna get blue. I'm gonna put it over here, and that way I can kind of control better how much is on my brush, right? Because she's got platinum blonde hair, but it's not quite blue, but it's not quite blonde, and it's kind of a little bit of finagling. Oh, how did you not get noticed? Hold on. Wait a second. It's good enough. All right. Let's keep going. So what I'm going to do is actually try to give it a little bit more detail because it's close up. So I'm going to have it a little bit darker in some places and a little bit lighter in others. And everybody can show detail differently. If you wanted to, you can even show detail with the line work. Like I could have put lines in her hair to help show that detail, but I didn't. So we're not going to cry over spilt frozen milk. And then Elsa's eyes were blue, I believe. So if you'll see, I didn't add a ton of water to this blue, so it's pretty vibrant. Now, if I wanted to make her eyes super blue, I would just mix in the water more in the pan, and then all of a sudden I get even more pigment in my on my brush, right? And so we have this nice deep blue, and I think I might want to just keep it that way because I don't know, what does Among Us look like with colored eyes? Who knows? And with Elsa's like body color, I don't know, I haven't really thought about body color yet. But the thing is, I can't do the body until the eye dries more, because if I start trying to use water around the eye, the color is going to bleed. And so I'm going to leave that be for now. And I'm going to look up what color Anna's eyes are. I don't even know. Anna, frozen eye. Bluish, apparently. But they look kind of like a blue-green. So what I'm going to do for hers is I'm going to switch to a smaller brush, probably, because it's a little bit smaller of a space. And what I'll do is I'll take some blue and I'll put it over here. And then I'll take some green and I'll put it over here. Here we go. And so now I'm going to make this unique color of blue-green, and I can make that on the little lid. Yeah, that's actually pretty close, honestly. Well done, Miss Berryhill. I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back because it's COVID and nobody else is supposed to be near enough to me to give me a pat on the back. So there's Anna's eyes, and she's got kind of like natural red hair. And the way that I'll do that is I'll take some orange and I'll put it over here. Yeah, when you start using your pan for this much, or this plastic thing for mixing colors a lot, you'll need to actually start, I don't know, washing it eventually. So her hair turned out super brown, but it's actually pretty accurate to the color in the movie. So I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to go ahead and color. Yee. So tell me, from the younger generation that you are, is Frozen overrated now? Like, is this an old movie, or is this a classic, or is this like how do the younger generation feel about Frozen? Leave it in the comments below. Yeah, because I actually don't know. I know that they overplayed Let It Go. I know that everybody on the face of the planet is sick to death of the song Let It Go. So I know that. Something else to note, that if I wanted to make it a little bit darker somewhere, like if I wanted to make the underside of her braids darker, I can go over it with that color again, and it'll become a little bit darker, or like more it's more pigmented, which can be mistaken for darker oftentimes. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of depth there by doing that. There we go. I get you. Is it because I said that it's old, or because nobody wants to hear Let It Go anymore? Like, I love Idina Menzel. Like, I absolutely adore her. She was the first she is the first Elsa, not Elsa. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Elfie. No. Elphaba. There it is. I was like, why am I blanking on this? Elfie, or from Wicked. Elphaba. Also, I'm just going to go ahead and use this for Sven as well. So for Wicked, if anybody's ever heard the song Defying Gravity, it's by the same person, or it's sung by the same person as Elsa. Fun fact. All right. So like, oh gosh. Why is my brain like just kind of blanking today? I think I'll try defying gravity. I'd sooner by defying gravity, and no one will bring me down. And nobody in all of Oz, no wizard that there is or was, is ever gonna bring me down. I hope you're happy. All right, Kristoff. Hat. What color was his hat? Greenish. Greenish. All right. So kind of like a greenish brown. So I'm going to go ahead and use this green. Oh, that's the wrong green. Use this green over here, and then use brown. Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes when you're messing around with art, you got to mess around with all the arts, you know? I always wish that I could sing Defying Gravity, like full out, just belting it, for something other than karaoke. There we go. All right. So we have some of the stuffs done. Next, let's go ahead and look at the background of the castle. And so I noticed that the background of the castle is kind of like gray and brown. So I'm going to take my black, and I'm going to really put a lot of water in it. And I'm going to start by going up and down like this and doing just a wash. And if it's too dark for you, you can always add more water. I'm trying to avoid just kind of blowing over the towers. And I probably have enough here to just take and keep pushing around for a while. Yeah. All right, let's keep, that's probably too much water, or not enough water, I mean. There we go. I'm just going to keep going with this black. And it's going to be a little bit of like impressions. So I'm going to go ahead and go through with the brown. And because I don't care about mixing colors in my pan, I don't have to keep washing off my brush. I can just go straight back to here. But if it was back in the actual colors, I would definitely want to wash off my brush every time. Which is why sometimes bringing the color out to here can be really beneficial. I'm going to make this part a little bit darker around here. There we go. Just kind of a wash of color. Oops. Oh well, that's okay. And then maybe a little bit of green in there, just for interest. There we go. Oops. Ah. Oh, that's okay. All right. And I know that typically a background should be a little bit more faded. So I have a secret weapon. Maybe. I might have a secret weapon. I may have a secret. There it is. A tissue. Pull up some of the coloring. And there it's automatically more faded, which is helpful. All right. So let's keep going. And at this point, it's, you know, whatever you feel works best. I'm probably going to do a little bit darker of a gray on the castle. Probably a little bit more vibrant. Ooh, that's black. That's not what I wanted. Black is the most powerful of colors. That's what I always tell my students is if you add black, it's a super powerful color. So oftentimes it is overpowering sometimes. But sometimes we need that, right? Sometimes we need that. All right. Let's get here. Not super concerned a lot with the specifics back here. Mostly that's why it's in the background. Not super concerned and more trying to give it a wash than anything else. Maybe give it a little bit darker of a color towards the corners. That's one thing that I love about watercolor is that you can just like let it be whatever it becomes, you know. Oftentimes you can just let it go, so to speak. Yeah, you can boo me. That's fine. Maybe I'll make it a little weathered looking more. Yeah, there we go. What color should we make the... Why did you decide to paint and not color? I decided to paint because oftentimes it's faster, especially with these large swaths of space. Like the fact that I did this background in like probably a minute or two, that would have taken me a really long time to get consistent and like flat looking with colored pencil. So colored pencil is a much more of a time commitment, but it's also easier to control, in my opinion, is color pencil. So for watercolor, once it's done, there are some things that you can do to like to save it, but once it's done, it's kind of done. If I realize that I made a mistake here, then that's kind of like it, and I I did it. With colored pencil, there's if you go light at first, you can control the color a little bit more easily. So I'm going to start doing this little bit of a darker green wash on the greenery over here. And I'm actually not going to be trying to get it really precisely. I'm going to let it blend in a lot with this kind of area as I come up here, kind of suggesting that there are more trees than I have inked a little bit. There we go. And then with these trees up here, I'm actually going to be giving them a little bit more TLC, a little more tender love and care. Instead of a wash, I'm going to be giving them a little bit more, what's it called? Details. That's what it's called. Again, my brain has just decided to go to lunch. It's fine. It's not like I needed a brain today. It's fine. Oh, that's much darker than I thought it was going to be. So you know what I'm going to do with it then? I'm going to randomly make some of these trees back here darker too. So that there's some variation. Yay, variation. Woo! Yay, variation. All right. Maybe these between spaces. Painting is typically, let's do office hours, 2 o'clock tomorrow. Hello. How are you? Rasun? Yes? Hope I said that right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Are you working on a triptych by chance? I'm doing well. You know, I get to do art and hang out with some of my students and whoever else comes along. It's a good day in my books. It's a good day. It's a fairly good day. I have a new YouTube account, and I've got coffee. Y'all, I got coffee. It's such a good day when I have coffee. So, yeah, but watercolor is typically where I start to go into flow. And I don't know if y'all know what that is, but flow is the term that we call work, specifically usually creative work, where it's engaging enough of our brains that we're like actively engaged, but it's also like problem solving, and it's problem solving and engaging our brains, but it's also soothing enough that it is it's soothing enough that it takes our minds off of what is going on in the outside world, right? And so typically, you can tell if I've gotten into flow by the fact that I've stopped talking a lot. And so I can tell that I've started to enter into flow because I have stopped like just going ahead and having stream of conscious chitter chattering going on. You can see that again, because these things are in the fore to mid ground, I'm trying to give them like pine needle kind of texture. And I'm gonna do a little bit like as we go back a little bit, and then I'm gonna stop doing it if we get far enough back, because I want the foreground and the midground to have the most texture. Foreground having the most, midground having some, a mid amount of texture, if you will. Oh, that's nice. Somebody's honking outside. There we go. All right. So the wash of trees is coming out fairly decently. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give this. I'm gonna need to start thinking about what colors to make each of the characters, and I'm not entirely sure how to do that. Because obviously I'm not gonna make it like their skin tone. That's not, except for Sven, but then it's his fur tone. Maybe I make it their costume colors. Maybe. What costume? Well, okay. Well, I might be getting ahead of myself, but I need to start thinking about it soon. Coming up on 2:30, and I've got some D&D to do later. Let's balance this out by having a dark blue for the tower kind of color. And the reason I do that is because, and I actually probably don't want to do a dark blue, I just want to do a blue. I want to pull Elsa's eye color back a little bit, just a little bit. Doesn't have to be a lot, but just a little bit. Which means, I might make Kristoff blue. He's got some red on him. He's got some gray. Maybe I'll make him gray. I'll make Kristoff gray. Just kind of like add a bunch of water to the black so that I don't make him too dark. Oh gosh, that's really dark. Maybe gray won't work. Y'all, I don't think gray is gonna work. All right, let's see. Achoo! Haha! Success. All right. So that leaves Anna and Elsa. Let's see. Also, I need to figure out what that exclamation mark's going to be, and what hands is going to be. Let's see. Anna Frozen. Her outfit has like magenta-y purple. She's got that cloak, that magenta-y purple cloak. So I think that's what I'm going to make her. So if you think about it, it's going to be red. Her magenta-y purple cloak. I'm running out of room in my plastic palette here. Let's see, magenta-y red. So red and purple, I think, will probably be the ticket here. Ooh, too much purple. Too much purple. Too much purple. Let's put the red over here, and then a little bit of that purple over there. Maybe this will work. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Oh, it's so dark. Add more water. Add more water. Oh, it's so purple. She looks like a grape. Why does Anna look like a grape? No. Okay, let's try this again. More red, more water, and like a touch of blue. Oh, that might have been too much. No, so purple. Look at it. Oh, it's so blue. All right, let's try this again. Red and water, and that's it. We'll see if we can save this. So we've got red, and then we're gonna put more water in there. Does that? Let's see. I don't feel like it's pink enough. How did they get this bright magenta pink? Oh, well. Good enough! Yay! Good enough, huzzah! And then Elsa's outfit is usually blue, isn't it? Elsa outfit. Yeah, she's like blue all over. Y'all think I should do blue? Everything's blue for her. Maybe blue with a little bit of yellow. Maybe that'll work. Because she's got the little bit of a seafoam blue thing going on. So maybe I'll add just a titch of yellow. And the thing is, like, I also need to have enough color to cover her whole body because I don't want to have to color match it. Because if I run out of the right color, then I'm kind of like, oh no, and then I'm scrambling to get that right color again. Whitish. So you're saying whitish? All right, so then here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and paint Elsa with just water first. I think part of why we're getting these dark colors is because my paint is getting kind of messy. Yay, you're back. All right, so I've got water on here first so that I can just take a little bit of blue and place it in here and then push it around. This is a lot easier to do that like this than it is to do it when the page is dry. Let's see, is that enough of a difference from her hair? I think what's gonna happen is I'm gonna go ahead and darken it a little bit, like at the fringes of her hair, so that you can tell the difference between her hair and her body, and then call it good. What do you think? Does that look like Anna and Elsa? Good enough? All right. And then I'll probably do like a light brown for, ooh, that was a lot of pigment. A light brown for the forest floor, right? Oh, but it was snowing already. So I'm only going to do a little bit of patches of light brown and push it around a lot because it was already snowing. I totally forgot. Shh. Nobody say anything. Nobody say anything. It's fine. I completely forgot that the whole point was that it was snowing, and that is why Elsa is running away. My brain has stopped functioning because I completely forgot. Oops. So there are a couple of things that we could do in this instance. If you have acrylic paint, you could always get acrylic paint and start like kind of splattering snowflakes around. But I know that not all my students have access to stuff like that. So let's see what we can do just with the stuff that we have. I think we're just gonna be okay with the fact that it's only slightly brown. And we're gonna call the rest of the white spots snow. That's what we're gonna do, right? 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 That's all right, Kahari. Like, this is just an informal drop-in thing. You don't have to be here, but I'm glad that you are. And said that your internet is down, and that is okay. All right, now the last two things that we have is hands and the exclamation mark. I think the exclamation mark should be blue, probably, because it matches Elsa. I think a nice blue might be good. Gonna try to stay. Kahari says that she's going to try to stay, which is awesome. Yeah. So fun fact, I have completely forgotten the entire point of this whole thing and made Arendelle before it was iced over. Well, that's fun. Oh, this is hilarious. Yeah, the trees are all green. The castle's gray. I did Arendelle without it being snowy. Okay. Well, we all mess up sometimes. It's fine. So here's what I'm gonna do. If this, so dear students, if this ever happens to you, I want you to know that it's okay, and that if you don't have ways to fix that, that's okay. So if somebody were to turn this into me and say, Miss Berryhill, I completely forgot to put the snow on. If we were in person, I would probably give you some white acrylic paint and be like, here you go. If it weren't in person, it was distance learning, I'd be like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. That's okay. Luckily, I do have some stuff that can help me problem solve. So I have this brush pen that's pretty much like fancy whiteout, honestly. So I can start like adding a little bit. Oh, we forgot about hands. We don't like hands. All right, let's look at hands. What does hands look like? Hans frozen outfit. What does he look like? He looks like a jerk. I don't like him. He's got, you know what? I'm gonna make him like, he's got some gold fringes on him. He's got a little bit of a red. You know, I'm gonna make him red. He's got a little bit of a red ascot or whatever it is. So I'm just gonna make him red. And plus, red is typically like a color of passion or violence. And you know, he's not a good person. He's kind of our villain. So it makes sense. I'll just do that. Jerk Hans. All right. Red sus. Red is sus. Exactly. All right. So let's see. Can I get this to work? What would absolutely, I would totally believe if this whole thing just exploded on all of this and there was no way for me to like save it. That is absolutely something that would happen to me. Aha! Hey, look! I can make it snow! Whee! Excellent. Look, it's snowing! We can call it good now, right? All right. Now back to the task at hand. I'm probably gonna give these little snow top. Is everybody dabbing for me or at me? I would dab if I could. See? There. Since you can't see my normal webcam, I'll just do a little hand dab. All right, there we go. Crisis averted! By continuing to make more and more mistakes. Because that's the way that things go. Dab. So many little dabbers in the little dabs, mini dabs in the chat. Excellent. All right. Some more just for good measure. All right. It is thoroughly snowing. Awesome. Ta-da! All right. So I think I think that's pretty much the long and short of it. I might add a little bit of textured gray to like right this bubble, because the white looks a little too bright compared to everything else. And bring this around and then take my handy dandy, oh God, where'd it go? There it is. Because he's the bad guy. Because he's the bad guy. He's the bad guy. Okay. I think that's the long and short of it. And then, of course, always remember to sign your pieces. So I usually sign mine right here. And there you go. There you have it. That is our first Triptych final draft of this Triptych series. Thank you for coming along with me and hanging out with me as I did this. I hope that some of the commentary was helpful, if not entertaining. And I love y'all. I hope that you have a really good day, and I'm glad that you were here with me. And I shall see you later. Bye, bye. Love you. Bye, 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 bye.